Hello, this is Greg Allison Green Greg's coming to you live on 27 September 22. Time on deck is 23:55 hours Central Daylight Time. My friends, holy smoke, guys, we are in it up to our necks, maybe over when we have to have breathing gear, guys. We're talking tonight about Hurricane Ivan. We're going to talk about World War III, nuclear war, civil war, inflation, and more. Holy smoke, guys. What a bore, right? Wow. It is coming in from every direction at us right now. And a lot of people just go, well, gosh, Greg, nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to happen. Really? Holy smoke. Look what's already happened, guys. Our world's not the same as it was 3 years ago. If 3 years ago somebody had said where we'd be today, you'd say, no way, that ain't going to happen. But it is. It's happened. It's here. So, my friends, your head needs to be clear so you can be ready for what's coming. This proposition on my channel help you survive, thrive, and stay alive. And that's what we're doing here, my friends. So subscribe to my channel, bang the notification bell, and click off. Yeah, looking scary. Guys, Hurricane Ivan, and it's going straight for the Kennedy Space Center, almost right-hand quadrant. Guys, we got a lot to cover, a whole lot to talk about. And many blessings. Thank you, Vicky. So we got a live session tonight. Sophia, good to see you. Mag Rising, New Days, Granny, Tammy Carter, Dave Smith, and there's a couple others that chime in. Hey, Tim Pickens, my good buddy Tim Pickens is here. Guys, if you don't know, Tim Pickens and I started rocket ventures together years ago, building hybrid rockets, launching altitude balloons. He's the rocket man's rocket man, folks. So good to see him here, guys. All righty, folks, hang in here. It's coming at us, and I'm about to do some screen shares, and we're going to go through it. We're going to start with a Hurricane Ivan because it's the closest thing on us. It is breathing down the necks, throats, and backs of folks in Florida, and it may have impact on us all, guys. So hang on. We are going to go to Ivan. I'm going to get my little laptop started here. I can watch the chat there because I'm about to be going through screens on my main computer here. Very good. And I can see this. Hi from Arizona. Good to see you there from Arizona, my friends. And hey, I'm going to be starting another. I'm going to change format on this channel. I've actually started the Swivelhead News. I've just set that up. Hang on, guys. So we got a lot to talk about tonight, and we'll go into that more probably in detail tomorrow night. Just kind of kick this stuff around, guys. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go do a screen share. Bing. Give me a second. All right, guys. Here we are. Let me blow this screen up here. This is it, guys. This is Hurricane Ivan. It is bearing down on Florida. It's taking a path to the right. They thought it was going to come up here around Apalachicola, maybe Pensacola, but it's going right. It is coming this way. It might bear back over land. But guys, let's let this thing rotate here. This is a big eye. It's got a strong cloud band around it. She's very strong. Yeah, it's getting more and more formed even as it's just coming out of Cuba. That is strong. Went across land in Cuba. Look at that eye. This just went over Key West. If you were in Key West, you would not be a happy camper. If Wise Owl is in the house, you don't want to be in Florida right now, Wise Owl. Let's hope that you're not heading in that direction. She already used her San Francisco here. And we'll talk about worm orders tonight too, guys. If you're going to order worms, make sure your shipping address is updated on your PayPal account before you order. Oh my gosh, so many people change their billing address, but not their shipping address, and that causes all kind of problems. We'll talk about that and other things later about worm orders at the very end of this video. But first, we got a lot of territory here. Let's just kind of zoom in here and take a closer look at this thing. She's a monster. She is coming into Florida fast and furious, guys. Look at that. Just went right over Key West. Miami is getting a lot of rain out of Hollywood down here, Fort Lauderdale. There's some big storms up here, guys. There's some huge storms being swung around. It's all in the right-hand quadrant of this storm. And this stuff extends out some direction. Look here. Kennedy Space Center is just right here, guys. This is a Kennedy Space Center. And the VAB here, we got our rocket, the Space Launch System, Artemis 1, is already in its hangar in the VAB, Vehicle Assembly Building. But gosh, we got to hope that building is going to be safe when the storm comes through, because the service module on the Orion for the Orion capsule still has hydrazine loaded. They didn't offload it. They wanted to be able to push back and try to fire this thing off on the 2nd. But I'm told they've got to have this thing on the pad by Friday to make that happen. Now, they might be able to wiggle with that a little bit, but I don't know, guys. It's going to be hard to see this on the pad Friday because here, we're in the National Hurricane Center. Let's look at the time track of this hurricane and see what she's going to do. Let's look at these cones here. So from the look of this map, guys, what I'd have to say is this thing is Thursday morning, just right off, just west of the Kennedy Space Center. Thursday morning, it's really ripping winds through here. It's not going to be into South Georgia, the swamp of Okefenokee Swamp. What is this up here? Okefenokee, I believe. It's going to be there at about 8 a.m. Friday morning. So it might be that's cleared out and you can start rolling a vehicle out. If the VAB is not damaged, if the vehicle is not damaged, if the pad's not damaged, if there's not debris everywhere, you know, crawway's got to be fairly clear to roll that thing out. Tim, you still here? What do you think about that? Tim says, I heard there was a big electrical panel fire in the VAB today. Oh, that is not good. That is not good. I wouldn't want to be in the VAB with a tanks full of hydrazine in it. You know, that was something they came up with for this clean pad concept. It would start hydrazine handling. The VAB is an office building, folks. I would not want to be in an office building with tanks full of hydrazine propellant. Would you be happy with that, Tim? I wouldn't. CREs are forgive the Lord, but I wish it would hit DC, oh Lord. Well, some people might call that urban renewal, right? All right, guys. So let's look at this rain forecast here. Let's look at the rain track. When you look at the rain, look at this, guys. We're talking 15 to 20 inches through Central Florida. Tampa is going to be hammered with rain. But even the Kennedy Space Center here, they're looking at 10 to 15 inches. What, like a matter of an hour or two? I don't know. Guys, that is an incredible amount of rain. Or they had to abandon the building. Oh, yeah, I guess so. Oh, because of the fire with the vehicle in? Oh, my God, that's horrible. I hadn't heard that yet, Tim. Thanks for letting me know. Wow. Yeah, we got some risk there. We got some risk. Yeah, I want to hear more about that VAB fire. All right, Tim, keep me in touch on that. I'm surprised I didn't see. So what time did that occur? I didn't see anything in my NASA email about that today. Not a word. Sweet. Tell her congratulations to somebody's congratulating somebody. Okay. All right. So guys, let's get back out here from here for a second. Ding, ding, ding. What we're going to do next is just go over here and look at windy. You can see here the winds are concentrated in this area, and it's white here. It's very windy. A lot of lightning in this area. Look, the lightning is going all the way up to the Kennedy Space Center. What was the cause of electrical fire, Tim? I would be concerned about those solid rocket motors strapped on. Oh, yeah. Oh, heck yeah. The solid rocket motors, guys. Well, what would concern me is if you ever got so close to countdown that you actually armed them and then you command them safe again. You've got a bit that's supposed to tell you that it made us safe, but you could have a false positive, and we don't have any way to confirm whether it's actually truly a negative or a false positive. That's what scares me about their clean pad concept they come up with. Back in the old days in the VAB, they could put somebody in the forward skirt of the SRB and look straight at that igniter that would ignite that motor and be able to tell. I told them, look, we got to have access to that forward skirt. I've already fought that clean pad concept I held it up for 9 months, me and KSC sent their management, Marshall, to try to reason with me about it. And I was not a happy camper. I'm gonna tell you what, I said, hey guys, y'all need to at least put a camera in there. I wouldn't even put a camera in there to look at that. There's a window on those safe and armed devices. You can tell if they're armed just by looking at them. Nope, they didn't do it. So that is not something I'm happy with. That's another story, guys. Anyway, so guys, I'm seeing 8 likes. Yeah, okay, guys, throw me in some likes. There's 67 in the room. I'm seeing 31 now. Come on, guys, help me out. I need help with algorithms. All right, so we could look around the country, but we may save that for tomorrow night. Guys, we're getting some cool weather. It's getting down. It's going to get down to about 44 here tonight in my area. I'm not seeing anybody hot anywhere in the country. If you want to buy worms, as long as you're not going to Orlando, it's a good time to get them. But Orlando, oh yeah, I actually got a box heading to Orlando, and it wasn't meant to. Hey guys, here's a little something somebody sent me on Facebook. You know, saying, why is it that when I'm everyone I meet that expects the pending societal collapse is focused on weapons? You know, why not seeds and gardening and working together? We're the crafters, the blacksmiths. Hey, I got a blacksmith shop in progress. Working leathers, sew, carpentry. Guys, we got to work together. So we got to get our tribe network going. But I still believe in self-defense. So I've got my nugs. I got the kibbles to feed them. But basically, we really need to be working toward our communities, our survival communities. My buddy Tim, he's quite the prepper, guys. He is also a prepper. He's like me on this. Now, here's what we got to watch out for. Quit throwing all this stuff at me, guys. So Medvedev was a president of Russia, just like Putin. This is Medvedev, while Putin had to constitutionally take a break. He is really one of the key players in Russia. He's one of the heads of the defense establishment there. Tim, I read briefly somewhere today, I heard that there were multiple electrical panels that caught fire. Wow. Wonder what caused that. Was it lightning? Sabotage? Merlin and the Fakings. Oh, talking to each other. Everybody. Yeah, thank you, Vicky. Yeah, get people to throw some thumbs up. Wait, 73 in the room and only 30 thumbs up. Let me do a refresh on this page, see if I'm missing something. Anyway, maybe I got a few more. I'm only 39 thumbs up. Come on, guys. That's pretty pathetic. Help me out, guys. Because the YouTube is stomping this channel very hard. Very hard. Listen, my Galactic Greg's channel just got, a little over 3,000 subscribers. But and of course, they don't get as many views as I get on here. But guess what? On a subscriber basis, Galactic Greg gets 4 times the views that this channel gets. Why? Because YouTube isn't stomping that channel as hard. They still know it's me, so they stomp it a little bit, but not as hard. Guys, help me out. Thank you. All righty. Yeah, and y'all can order worms too if you want to. That would help both of us. All right. So what did Medvedev say? What he said is that, hey, if we go ahead and nuke Ukraine, United States isn't going to do anything. NATO's not going to do it. It's a tactical nuke. They're not going to risk their countries over Ukraine. He said, we can do it. We can get away, because he said NATO won't step in if Russia nukes Ukraine. And he's already said that, take it seriously, it's not a bluff, and that they may nuke Ukraine. Medvedev has been saying, Putin has issued these things as veiled threats. But Medvedev had just come out and said it. He said it 2 or 3 times already. Now he adds this to it. Well, the United States and NATO ain't going to do anything. It ain't going to happen. Don't worry about it, guys. That's what he's saying. But that's not what NATO's saying. Whether they mean it or not, it says U.S. says it will take catastrophic action if Putin goes nuclear. Catastrophic action. Now, what does that mean? We don't know. Now, they've been talking to the Russians, and supposedly they gave some better hints about it, but they're supposed to be maintaining some kind of strategic ambiguity, whatever that means. I don't know, guys. Maybe that's just what they're telling us. There's so much propaganda going around. We don't know what the true skinny is on this. My grandson's charting 95% on height and weight. Oh, okay. Melanie Lines being stomped by YouTube is an honor. I must be doing something right. I think it's because I started the Freedom Restoration Foundation and our tribe group. Go to survivaltribenetwork.com, guys, and you'll see our tribal group. Tim, you might want to check that out. So, New York Times, Fox News is reporting New York Times. So really, what? Since when does that happen? But anyway, the world is probably now closer to the use of nuclear weapons than it has been any point in decades. And some people are saying that we are in a more dangerous, precarious place than we were even in the Cuban Missile Crisis. What will NATO do if Russia nukes Ukraine? See, there's just a whole lot of speculation. It's all speculation. There's so much talk, this, that, and the other. We'll get into it in a little bit, maybe. But hey, Ukrainians say, hey, even if you nuke us, we're going to keep fighting. Well, they don't have much choice because they're about to get run over. Yeah, well, ain't nothing to laugh for. Excuse me, guys. Yeah, they ain't got much choice. It's fight or perish. That's the only choice you got. You're going to use every last scrap you got, I suppose. That's Ian, not Ivan. Okay, yeah. Did I say Ivan? Yeah, we had Hurricane Ivan hit here. Ian, you're right. Ian. I know it's Ian, but sometimes I get my things. Yeah, we had Ivan. Ivan was a storm that came through here years ago, and it had horrible winds right here, way up the coast. Slave Nation America, all lamestream is just that. Yeah, sorry about that, me calling it Ivan, guys. Hurricane Ivan still sticks in my mind. Ian, Ivan, they're all kin to each other. European male names that start with an I, right? Got an I and an A and an N in each one, just a V difference. All right, Celtic Warrior, howdy everybody from Northeast Washington State. Well, all right, hope you're doing well. Rochelle, apologize for the tardiness. Okay, well, that's all right, you're here. All right, guys. Well, there's a lot more going on, guys. So let's kind of unpack this a second. What do I really, in fact, maybe I'll stop the share for a second. We'll come back in here. What do I expect? Putin is kind of against the wall. His troops, got it handed to him a bit by the Ukrainians. Now, admittedly, you're supposed to have a 4-to-1 advantage when you invade somebody. And supposedly the Ukrainians only had 100,000 men, and he went in with a couple 100,000. But Ukrainians fast raised, of course, you got a lot of people there. So their country, an army of maybe up to, some people say 700,000. So if you're the invader and you're trying to overcome 700,000, 200,000, you better have something else that's going to give you a very decisive edge. Well, Russia's very mechanized, except they went in during the fall season when everything was mucky. When it's mucky, being mechanized is not exactly the best edge you would want. So Russia bogged down in the mud, basically, and they had to run their tanks on the streets, which made them sit in ducks like ducks, at the shooting gallery at a carnival. They were wide open. That's not the way to conduct an armored operation. So wasn't the right time, the right way. There were mistakes made, but he thought when he went in that, the Ukrainians are going to be happy to see him, except for with exception of Zelensky. So he thought they'd take Zelensky out, be over, and they'd be celebrated victors. Well, it wasn't quite that way, was it? But anyway, so he had some bad intel, and some of it being his troops and generals telling him how good their army was, which it had some problems, as we seem to see. But now, so what's happened is Putin's still resolved to win, because here's the thing. I've said this a million times from years back on this channel when I first started talking this kind of topics. Let's look. If you are the strong man in the country, you're an autocratic ruler, a dictator, whatever you want to call it, you're Mr. Strongman. You rule by virtue of being Mr. Strongman. This occurred. I knew this way back when Saddam Hussein was, the leader of Iraq and so forth. Or even back with Gaddafi. I mean, you got to thump your chest, and at least your people. A lot of what you're doing is a game for your own people. You got to be out there making yourself look like the strong guy. And the biggest reason is to maintain the power in your country, power and respect, and to keep competitors down. Because when they lose this, they get kicked out of power, and the typical end is they don't survive. Look at Mussolini and so many others. When they topple, their head topples too. That's the usual modus operandi when a dictator loses power. It's bye-bye. Occasionally, because it's still within the system and it wasn't that kind of a takeover, some of them survived, like Khrushchev. He got carted off to some dacha and told, sit there and don't say nothing else, and we might let you live. So he was basically put in retirement. But he was also a World War II hero for the Soviet Union. So, he had his role. You take Stalin. He ruled ruthlessly. If he let it one little bit, his days were over. And Putin's kind of in that camp too. Putin knows that if he steps down, if he loses, it's over for him. And a lot of these leaders, and I've said this many times for years, a lot of these leaders are the kind of sort of person who they are sociopathic. They don't care about anybody else except number one. They make it sound like they care about their people. But that's all just a front to get the support of their people, so that you get them behind them to establish their cult of personality or whatever it is. They're unlike, all the Kims that's run North Korea, the whole litany of them. It's the game they play. It's the nature. In some countries, you know, it's the only kind of leader you're going to get is that kind of leader, just because of where they're set up. And once you get put in that spot, you're on the front of the train. That's what you got to do. That train is steaming down the track, and you ain't getting off, buddy. That's what you got to do to stay on the front of that train. When you come off the front of that train, you're going to be run over. So they know that. So I felt like I was in front of a train when I ran a conference one time years ago, back that 1993 International Space Development Conference. Holy smoke. There wasn't no getting off. It had to be done right. Or I was going to lose my house. So there's things like that. Hey, it works though. And I actually had some surplus revenue. I started a program for launching hybrid rockets from altitude balloons from the excess revenue. The guys before me, a couple years before me, lost 60 grand in 1993. 60 grand was a lot of money. But anyway, I managed to actually go the other way, not that much in positive, but enough that we got our Halo program started, and we even shared some money with the National Space Society, half of it. Even threw a party for all our workers and volunteers, big party. And believe it or not, our special guest was a Russian speaker, talking about the Russian space program, and we had the Russian Culture Club at the University of Alabama, Huntsville, come in wearing traditional Russian gear and sing to us in 1993. We're talking about Russia now. So I gotta say though, my favorite trip I ever made anywhere, I've done a bit of traveling. My favorite trip was to Moscow back in 2010, March of 2010. Another story. But anyway, so what can happen here? And I know I stood in the streets there, I look around and said, well, why in the world would we want to nuke these people? And why in the world would they want to nuke us? When you're person to person, it's just kind of hard to see that. But, you know, when you get, you're backed off and all these leaders go locking horns with each other, this is where we get, guys. And it's a lot of it's about power and power structures. It's way over the heads of the people in either country. The people in each country suffer, but a lot of the people also get worked up. They get all the propaganda fed to them, and they get worked up. Typically in a war situation, one side dehumanizes the other, so that the other people can see fit to do things to them that ain't human no more. That's always happened from the get-go. Even ancient tribes, they didn't consider other tribes to be humans. They didn't. We're humans. They're not humans. That's how Adam and Eve got to be the first humans, even though their sons got to go to the land of Nod and get married, right? I don't know. Damn, that one's a little over my head. But anyway, maybe Tim can figure that one out. His daddy probably worked on that quite a bit. Hey, Flippin' Nickel, how you doing, buddy? Crypto Alchemist, Slave Nation. Moab looks like a lost ancient. Advanced runs. Tim probably weigh in on what I was talking about. He probably got some answers. His dad was well studied in those kind of things. Very well studied. Yeah, his dad was amazing. But anyway, that's another story. Anyway, so guys, here is what I'm talking about. The Russians are likely to try to use a tactical nuke. Now, it might be like a warning shot. They might fire it off in the air or out in the Black Sea or just something like that, just to spook people. But then again, for tactical advantage, they might use it on a tactical warfighting target. Now, it's not necessary that this would directly kill more people than any other military operation. Believe it or not, unless it's in a city. But directly, there could be radiation after effects. It could be very significant radiation after effects, and it could spread and cause a lot of problems to a whole lot more people. And it's also, I've read, some tactical nukes are like Davy Crockett, they're the a round that was intended to be fired from a artillery piece. And there are a lot of artillery tactical nukes. And I think actually Davy Crockett was like a big shoulder fire thing. So then there's the backpack nukes. Some of these are a fraction of a kiloton, and a lot of those are meant to take up bridges and dams and big facilities like that. But from what I hear, the Russian tactical nukes are up to 100,000 kilotons. Some of them may be bigger than the Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombs. It killed 80,000 people, something in that order, when dropped on Japan. So some of these tactical nukes might be very powerful. They're strategic nukes. They're like 300 kilotons and up to, you know, a few megatons. A couple megatons is, you know, one of their larger nukes that they use pretty rare. Of course, they got the Sarbama, which is 100 megatons, crazy sized device. But typical tactical, not the typical strategic hydrogen bomb is 300 kilotons and up, 700 kilotons, whereas the Hiroshima little boy bomb was 15 kilotons, for example. So this could be a very significant thing used in a war. And it's possible that, you know, hey, Putin don't want to lose. He could, and he may have problems with the troops. This could be a game changer. Now, he's going to try to do it with conventional forces first, and he might succeed. And maybe he's just going to try to retake and hold the territory he's going for. Then he just might go for Ukraine. He might go for the whole enchilada. If he thinks he can do it, he'll do it. See, this is why he's passed these resolutions. It's, oh, you attack me now, you're attacking Russia. You attack Russia, game's off. He wants to change the game, and he's looking for an excuse to do it. And this is why they just had the referendums. They're probably going to declare all these areas Russia. Now, I would say the so-called independent republics of Luhansk and Donetsk, which are part of the Donbass region, most of the people there may indeed want to be Russian. If they vote, and if it's a legitimate vote, and that's what they would choose, I'd say they actually ought to be allowed to go, because I believe people should have the right of self-determination. I'm having a hard time believing, though, that the people of Kherson and the people in Oblast of Kherson, that area, or Zaporizhia, want to be part of Russia, because there's just not as many Russians in those areas. And even in Donbass, within the Donetsk Oblast, there was fierce fighting for locals not to be taken over by Russia. So all of the Donbass area don't want to be Russian, and that's why the big fight was there over Mariupol. Mariupol was actually in Donetsk. So a whole lot of Donetsk did not want to go in with Russia. They fought bitterly to stay out. So this whole idea that they all want to go this way or that way. Now, it's also a case that you know, the Ukrainians had been attacking Donetsk for some time, and that's what part of what the Russians have been using as an excuse for what they've done, is that, hey, we got Russian people there that are under attack by Ukraine. So because they want to secede. Well, by golly, if somebody wants to secede, they should have the right to do it. If at first you don't secede, try again. Quite the way Ben Franklin said it now, is it? Anyway, so hey Arnold, how you doing? In any event, wait a minute, what happened? Arnold had a ranch, now Arnold don't have a ranch? We got more than one Arnold in here? How many Arnold Smiths do we have? I see an Arnold Smith, two different Arnold Smiths in here. Arnold, are you in here twice? Or somebody hijacking your name? This is odd. I got an Arnold Smith who's got a logo. And I got Arnold Smith that's just got an A. We got two Arnold Schmidts. Hey, Arnold Schmidt #2 with an A. Where are you from? What is going on? That's odd. I haven't seen that happen before. I haven't. Hey, another mod can't demod somebody. It takes me to do that. And I have not been over touching the keyboard. I have not demodded anyone. I don't know. You got more than one login? Or is YouTube doing some weird stuff to us? Oh, we got 133 in the room and only 82 people. Different device. Okay, fine. Very, very, very good. Well, different device. It looks like you have maybe more than one account. Anyway. Hey, Greg Smith from Kentucky. How you doing? All right. So there is a good chance that first, I would say Putin is going to try to use his conventional forces. Now, he may have a new advantage. When he puts those 300,000 or 1 million conscripts, whatever he's going to put into Ukraine, you got to remember this. The troops he put into Ukraine already, a lot of them are now kind of battle hardened. Some of them are supposed to be some of his best troops, although according to some sources, I'm having a hard time believing that, because I've heard he kept his A game back according to other sources. So it's not all in agreement, but here's what I do understand. These new troops will relieve a lot. All the troops aren't on the front line. They got their maybe 30,000 troops on the front line. the rest of their troops are back here in the rears in the area being occupied, maintaining the area and supply lines and everything else to supply those troops on the front. Well, 30,000 troops on the front ain't a whole lot to be facing Ukraine right now. So if they're suddenly able to take that entire force that's in Ukraine and put them on the front lines and have these other people in the rear, suddenly Russia has a bit changed the dynamic of what's available to them to either maintain what they've conquered, reconquer what they had conquered, or maybe even take all of Ukraine. And if they fail at that, there's talk that, even though Putin said 300,000, the thing that was actually signed authorized them to take 1 million people, reservists. Now, reservist includes everybody that's been in the military in Russia, which is most of the able-bodied males, a good number of them, because in Russia, everybody it serves 2 years in the military, practically all the guys, or you just serve a short stint, and therefore you're a reservist, everybody. So Russia's got a potential large reserve force. Hey Jesse, how you doing? But anyway, let's see. Cowgirl, though chemist, I lost it. Seeing the only chemist that is. So Hurricane Ian. Ivan was, oh my God, it was over 10 years ago, probably 15, maybe even 20. It's been a while. It has been a while. It did rip through here. That was some fierce winds up here. One of the strongest windy hurricanes in my area. Most time my hurricane wind gets up to this area, it's just rain. Nothing. Just rain. Bunch of shredded clouds above you. But I even came through here like crazy. Sorry about that. I got my crosses wired. Ian is the one that's coming in on Florida. I said Ivan. I hope I didn't say it in my last video, but Ivan still sticks in my head, guys. All right, so provoke, seriously, hope, no war. Amen to that. We don't want war. We don't want war. What I'm saying is this is what Russia might do. Now, this whole notion is the real question is what the United States want to do. Some people say we'll just up the game in what we're giving to Ukraine. Will this mean long-range HIMARS? Supposedly that's the thing that will cross the red line with Russia. Those long-range HIMARS would allow the Ukrainians to attack not only that piece that Russia's claimed as Russia, but back into Russia itself, pretty well into Russia. So that would be a direct challenge to the Russians if they had ATACMS missiles, and there's a couple other long-range missiles that go with HIMARS and ATACMS launch systems. So the M142, the M270. So also, guys, bear in mind this: what's America going to do? What's NATO going to do? One option is we would supply them more stuff, supposedly. The other option is we would actually put troops on the ground or use our aircraft to strike Russian front forces. So that's part of what people are talking about. There's not too many people saying that if Russia nuked Ukraine, that we would nuke them, but we would attack them. We would attack the forces that launched a nuclear strike. That's what they're saying. That's the direct war between Russia and the United States, or Russia and NATO. What happens next? You see what I'm talking about, guys? This thing could escalate. I'm not saying it will escalate. Greg Allison's not saying that any of this is going to happen. Okay, guys? And I urge you to pray that it don't happen. But what I'm telling you is this can happen. There's a lot of risk here. We're playing Russian roulette big time. And, guys, Ukraine is not in our national interest, to be blunt about it. There's nothing in Ukraine that's in the national interest of the United States. Well, maybe we got a humanitarian fill-in for them, but why didn't we go down and stop the fighting between the Houthis and the Tutsis down in Africa, where they were chopping each other up with machetes? And they killed, 80,000 or more people just with machetes. That is, holy smoke, guys, that's horrible. Cutting legs off and just all kinds of people wasn't killed. A lot of them were maimed for life, cut off legs and stuff. Guys, that was awful. Why didn't we go in there and intercede there? That was a big one. That was a huge humanitarian crisis. People are people. I don't care where you're from. But, this one, we risk our country. This is why Medvedev says NATO ain't going to do nothing. They're not going to come. We can nuke Ukraine all we want. I wouldn't want to be in Ukraine right now. I'm going to just be blunt. I wouldn't want to be Ukrainian. So, all righty. Finland wants to join NATO, and That's my ancestors' home. I got ancestry that goes back up in there too, Rochelle. I got ancestry in all those areas. Gave our equipment away. Yeah, well, that's what they're giving more of our equipment away and a lot of money. Now, it just turns out that the majority of Americans, according to recent poll, the majority of Americans are tired of us sending so much money over there. We're sending both armaments and money, just pure money. We're just shoving money at Ukraine right and armaments. We're depleting our own reserves, our own missiles, our own stockpiles. We might have to go to war with China soon. China is a huge threat to us right now, and that's a whole other topic I'll be getting into really soon. I think China may be about to do something. I'm going to explain why in another video, but the thing with Russia is in front of us, so this is why I'm interested in Russia right now. Hang that up notification bell. Thank you. I guess that's Greg Dell. GRG, is that short for Greg? All righty, guys, so let's go back into the share here. Tim, you still with us? We're going to go back into share screen here. All right, so what is NATO going to do, guys? What is going to happen here? That's the huge question. But look, there's other stuff going on in Russia. I guess y'all heard about this. Both the Nord Stream 1 and the Nord Stream 2 pipeline have been taken out. Undersea, taken out. Now, who is capable of doing that? Who would have a vested interest in doing that? Well, Ukraine might want it taken out so that, you know, Russia's not earning money from selling gas to Germany. Germany wanted the gas. I don't think Germany did. Some people say, well, Russia did it. Why would Russia take out their own system that they had invested so much money into? But there's also other problems with Russia if this happens. Cowgirl says, Greg, there is an interesting star alignment with Jupiter and the moon coming up around the 9th of October. Reminds me of the crescent moon and star flags. I wonder if there's a correlation. 9 October. Well, I don't know. Tim, Rocket Man is here and listening. All right, very good, Tim. Tim used to make rocket bicycles, guys. He's got the rocket-powered truck. And I've done interviews with Tim on Galactic Rigs. Well, I know we'll do some more. So go to Galactic Rigs. You're going to see Tim Pickens talking. I got 2 videos on Galactic Rigs with Tim. 2 or 3. All righty, guys. So Tim and I have been partners in crime in the past, running from rockets and all kind of stuff. About to sea. You only went out to sea with us once, though. All right, so guys, here's the thing. Poland sent a note. Thank you, USA, for this. Now, Poland would really want to take us out too. The Polish hate Russia. Those countries that were under Russian influence before, they hate Russia. The ones that got loose on Poland, the Baltic countries, they don't have anything to do with Russia. They're very, very anti-Russia. They're almost ready to fight, much more so than the Western European countries that have been longtime parts of NATO, who were, you know, kind of laid back about it all. But Poland and Baltic countries, they're not at all laid back, and they wanted this stuff cut off too. Now, did Poland have the wherewithal to do this? Could Poland have done it? Could Ukraine have done it? See, America might have an interest in this too. And here's the thing: Biden actually said that Nord Stream would be shut down. And he was asking a press conference, and he says, they said, how are you doing? When it's under German control, he said, oh, we can do it. We can do it. Well, it's been happening. It just happened. It just happened. There was some talk, you know, all the options for using Nord Stream to get energy to Europe this winter are now off the table. And there's a lot of speculation the United States did this. If the United States did this, now here's the final thing. If the United States did this, was this a direct attack on Russia? Russia's equipment, Russian pipeline? Is this an act of war? Has the United States attacked Russia? Think about it. Did the United States just attack Russia? Where does this going? Can you see this escalating? It might. It might. I'm not saying it's going to. Don't say Greg Allison said we're going to have World War III, blah, blah, blah. I didn't say we're going to. Guys, I always tell you to prep and pray. You better be praying a lot right now. Better be doing some serious praying, guys, because a war is not a pretty thing. A war with Russia or China would be awful. A civil war would be awful. I guarantee you that, guys. However, I would say we can't be ran over either. So, you know, somebody wants to come and take all our rights. You can't just be steamrolled over, but you gotta preserve your liberty. You got to preserve your liberty. But guys, you don't want a war. You do anything you can to avoid a war. But if you're being attacked, you got to defend yourselves. Attack to cripple Germany, says Slave Nation. Well, it's going to cripple Germany, but I don't think Russia would have done it because it's strong, because this is going to cripple Russia too. Now, here's something you don't realize. These pipelines and all the oil coming out of Russia is coming out of northern Siberia, northern Russia, up in the Arctic regions, a lot of it. And a lot of these wellheads are down in the permafrost. And if you start flowing this stuff, those pipes will be cracking and busting. When the Soviet Union fell, American oil companies went in and redid a lot of that stuff and built that stuff. Just so happens that Russia doesn't have the know-how on hand, the people, the personnel. If all these pipelines and wellheads fail, they can't get it restarted. And our companies are not going to go back in there and do it again. They ain't got anybody to restart this stuff. It will be a permanent loss of one of Russia's main revenue sources. So maybe we did do it. Besides, we can sell, liquid nitrogen, liquid LP gas, guys, liquid propane. I got other things on my head right now, on my mind. So it might be that we did it. There you go. Thank you there, Katie. Today's always shared one of the videos between Tim and I from Galactic Graves. There's at least 2 or 3 of them on there. Guys, this is serious. It's a big hit on Russia, and it's a big hit on Germany. Now, I think it wasn't wise for any Western European country to become dependent on a country like Russia. So dependent on any one nation. No one nation should be this dependent on any other one nation that puts you at risk to blackmail from that one nation if they so choose to do that. But hey, they didn't think nothing like this was going to happen. So, but now they're all in the world. Guys, Europe is going to be one cold place and one hungry, cold land this winter. I don't want to be in Europe this winter. I don't want to be in Ukraine. I don't want to be in Europe. It's not looking pretty, guys. Kotuku. Is that the way you say it? Kotuku. Kotuku. Hey there. Are you in New Zealand? Kotuku. Watapico. Kotuku Watapico. I know I'm not saying that right. Are you in New Zealand? Where are you from, Kotuku? All right. Yeah, I'm thinking of somebody from New Zealand sent me some music one time and some other things. Took some of my photographs and set them to music. Made them move and shimmer. All right, guys. Here we go. Yeah, and there's more than that. There's fires and explosions occurring at sensitive sites throughout Russia right now. So they've got sabotage going on. It may be internal sabotage. Yes, New Zealand. Were you the one that took my cloud photographs and made them move and set music to it? Is that you? Or are you another person in New Zealand? I thought that sounded like New Zealand. Greg, I would love to see you as a guest on Auto Dictatic YouTube channel. I don't even know who that is. You got to share it to me or talk to them so if they want me on. Yeah, I'd be happy to be a guest on somebody else's channel. It's not too zany. So I'm glad what's happening to the people. Race shouldn't matter. Our nation, yeah, race shouldn't matter, guys. Trust me on that. All right, guys. So now some of you maybe heard me talking about Dmitry Rokozin, especially on my Galactic Grid channel. Hey, Dr. G, man. He's got that Space Force logo in his logo, and I'm wearing it on my cap. And Great Atlanta gave me a mug with it, a thermos. That keeps the coffee so hot it's hard for me to drink. I use it when I go to the farmer's market, but here I'm drinking out of a cup. I need my coffee to cool off fast enough to drink because I need to drink coffee fast. So this guy spent a term as the head of Roscosmos, the Russian space program. And he did not like Elon Musk, and he doesn't want to pull us out of Ukraine. Well, now he's going to be put over a new federal district of Crimea, which is going to include all the other occupied territories of Ukraine. So he's getting a big chunk of land in Ukraine to run it. This guy's a big-time hardliner. He also considers himself to be a rocket man, and so, but he likes the ballistic missiles. He likes the Sarmat Satan II missile. That's his favorite missile. So we got to keep an eye on this guy. He might be dangerous. And of course, Putin's already striking back even without his new recruits. The thing is, it's going to take a while, at least 4 weeks, for his new recruits to get trained and put on the front lines. Once they are, things might really start happening. I would say a month from now, that war may be really picking up, guys. So right now we're in the end of September. By the end of October, I'm expecting a lot of action in Ukraine. And if it don't go to suit Putin, he's liable to start using nukes. That's what it boils down to. If he will use nukes if he thinks he's going to lose, as if his generals don't stop him. But for tactical nukes, they're not as likely to stop him. If he wanted to go straight to strategic nukes, they might. But the problem is, once you start the tactical nukes, especially if they're on par with a little boy Hiroshima bomb, then you are walking toward a potential strategic war. Because, you know, okay, he does this now. Well, we said we want to do something, so we got to do something. So we tit for tat, and it just keeps growing. All the simulations of war games on this kind of thing, if once the tactical nukes are started, they all had it escalated in all those, and it escalated pretty rapidly. So this could get out of hand in a hurry. I'm not saying it's going to. Thank you, Dr. G, man. Yeah, we only got 115 likes and we got 166 rooms. Help me out, guys. I'm not saying we're going to have a nuclear war. And if there is a nuclear war, I'm not saying it's going to involve NATO, the United States, but it could. The easiest way to take us out of this game would be to EMP the United States, electromagnetic pulse. And according to Russian doctrine, as taught to us by the late, great Dr. Peter Vincent Pry, Russians do not consider an EMP a nuclear attack. They consider it to be electronic warfare because the nuke does not hit on the ground. It occurs in space. Nobody's directly killed by it, yet in the long term, it will kill almost everybody in the United States. 9 out of 10 people will be perishing within at least a year due to societal collapse, according to the Congressional EMP Task Force from about 13, 14 years ago. And I did talk to Dr. Peter Pry about that, and I said, Dr. Pry, they say he always asked me to call him Peter. I said, I think that's very optimistic because a lot of these things you're counting on for that 10% to survive aren't there. And a lot of it's just people aren't growing the food that you think they're growing, especially out in the country. It's all market oriented. Very few people are growing the food you really need to survive. And I shot video in South Georgia and right up here in my area here. I drove around all around the country counting gardens. And then I backed up by going on YouTube. And I was amazed at how many places were not growing. You know, I would drive for over a mile, not see a garden, maybe 2 or 3 miles, not see a single garden in very rural areas of South Georgia and up here in North Alabama, very far apart, you know, within my region. So, and this is some of the best areas in the world to grow a garden, guys. We got long growing seasons. So when people here aren't growing gardens, who else is not growing gardens? Now, I know many of you that don't count on it. A lot of you are gardeners, and I'm glad to know that. So, guys, these are the things we face. Oh, yeah, look here. They say a lot of people's trying to get out of Russia now because they don't want to be caught in the draft. So, supposedly, this is a traffic jam. This is one of these wide glacial rivers here, like you got in Alaska. You know, I see this wide field of gravel and rubble and a wide river here. Yeah, so this would be in northern Russia. They got some kind of rivers we had up in Alaska in some areas of Russia, especially in Siberia. There's a bunch of people apparently trying to get out of the country. It's all on one side of the road, so that's the lane going out, not the lane coming in. And they are jammed up there. So I don't know. Of course, this could be a picture from something else. It could be propaganda. But a lot of people get caught at the draft, and sometimes people don't like to be drafted. We got a little change of topic now. They're our best favorite agency. You know, wow, that these guys that are not, they have never been weaponized politically. Oh, no. 20 agents with nugs drawn to arrest a pro-life dad in front of his family. Wow. I don't know, guys. All right, space weather. Let's go to space weather, guys. Here again, I showed this on my, blow this up. I showed this earlier on my Galactic Greg's channel. Oops. This is the impact here of DART hitting the Morphus. Look at that, boom. That threw off a big cloud. Look at that, guys. DART did that when it hit the Dimorphos, excuse me, which is the asteroid that struck yesterday. I carried that live on Galactic Greg's, guys. Man, that is a huge impact. And there's even pictures of a chunk blown out of it. Go see my latest video on Galactic Greg's about that. We got some sunspots coming at us, guys. Solar weather. That's a pretty good sized sunspot there. These could flare up. All right. So let's see here. I think the X is the X. Had to get out of here. Back here. There's some real nice aurora. Look at all that color. You got the purple in there. That is beautiful. Usually when you see aurora, they're just a green. So that's kind of, what's that, sharp? What's that color, girls? Teal, or what's the word for that color? I don't know. Turquoise. It's not one of these. If it ain't red, black, blue, green, yellow, orange, I don't know how to pronounce it, guys. What that's the only colors I'm good with. About 7 colors. All right, about 7 colors. That's about all I can handle. Look, there's a bunch of asteroids coming close to Earth, but not too close. We had one on the 23rd. It passed within the distance between the Earth and the Moon, 6/10 of it. 6/10 of a lunar distance. That's still a long ways off, guys. That's something like 100,000 miles. The Earth's on 8,000 miles in diameter. So that, to me, is still a pretty good miss. If you come in under the orbit of the geosynchronous satellites, and I start getting, starts getting my attention. But nothing is going to come in that close to us that we know of in the foreseeable future. What happens is we see these guys after they pass us. We're still discovering these objects, guys. This is not a big one. This is only 7 meters. But it's coming fast at 13.5 kilometers per second. Now, what I like to do is, you can come in here and find something with a low velocity, and it's going to be almost an Earth orbit. Let's find one that's got a real low velocity. The orbit will really closely match that of Earth. You get a high velocity, it's kicking it from way off. Look at this one, 22.9 kilometers per second. I'd say it's coming almost from the asteroid belt, probably the asteroid belt itself. So we go in here and we look at the orbital parameters, orbital viewer. I'd say this is coming from the asteroid belt. Probably. Oh, yeah, this asteroid belt is between Mars and Jupiter. So, but this one's got an angle. It's coming off plane. Makes me wonder if that's no burnout comet. Wow, that's odd. That's interesting. It's not in the plane of the ecliptic, so that's not really an asteroid unless it got a big hit from another asteroid. I would say that might be a burnout comet core there, but that thing has got an interesting orbit. Very interesting orbit. Now we'll take something with a lower velocity. That's 4.2. That's about as low as any on there. 22, let's see, 2022 SC6. I'd say this is one we could probably go out and grab a chunk of it and mine it, because the delta V, the extra velocity get to isn't that much. See, blue is Earth's orbit, and this thing is going between Earth and Venus. See there? It's pretty close to Earth's orbit. What did I say? Yeah, I kind of know how to read these things. All right, guys. So that's kind of interesting. Earthquakes. Earthquakes are real. Hey, Sub-Zero, how you doing? Antonio Castellano. I feel we need large groups such as freedom tribes to start to build new cities. Yeah, that's the whole idea of our survival tribe network, is to be able to rebuild after all. Look, this area in Texas has so many earthquakes. It's not funny, but look, we got a lot more here inland than normal. Are these all fracking? Is this one part of the New Madrid? The New Madrid's been a little active lately. Well, look, all these are Santa Andres. So Santa Andres fault about to wake up, and this is probably was this close to Long Valley called there? I don't know. Yellowstone's quiet. Puerto Rico has always got earthquakes. down there. Lots of them in this area. Those are around Puerto Rico. All right, we'll look around the world. Oh, Chase, Alaska. So I used to live up here. Japan, Philippines. This is really active right there. Let's go look around the Krakatoa's white. Up here in Armenia area. Greece. Oh, Mid-Atlantic Ridge is real active right here. Iceland's kind of quiet. Chile, that's no surprise. All right, guys, that's the earthquake review. I don't see anything in South America and Antarctica there. Yeah, we kind of limited what we can do for looking in Antarctica. Well, I don't want to stay on here all night. I got to get up early in the morning, so we're going to finish up here in a minute. Guys, I'm going to start. I'm looking to start. I have set up a new channel. Swivelhead News. It's got no content yet. That's a photograph I took one evening after sunset with a silo. Silhouette, silo silhouette in the sunset. I thought that was a really neat photograph. Now, I'm not sure that's the kind I really need for my brand. Now, I might change this photograph because I don't think you can read what this says. That says Armageddon. There's a company, Armageddon Gear. And I stopped outside their headquarters. And I think that was in Northwest Georgia somewhere. And I got this picture of me standing next to that sign. I thought that was so interesting. I just had to get out of my car and take a picture there. So it just kind of fits with one of the channels. We're gonna come back and talk about this one. What's over here? What I got? Oh yeah, I should have talked about this first. Bill Gates. Now this article is misleading. Bill Gates did not say, they got quotes, may bring it all to an end and could even lead to civil war. That's not what Bill Gates said. Bill Gates was far more declarative than that. Here's what Bill Gates said. Bill Gates says, political polarization may bring it all to an end. We're going to have a hung election and a civil war. Now, he didn't say no ifs, ands, or buts about that one. He said political polarization may bring it all to an end. That is probably after we have the hung election and civil war. He came flat out and said, we're going to have a hung election and a civil war. Wow, guys, let's stop the share. It's just time to talk a minute. Duck autocorrect. Steely Dan, Joey B is going to blame the price of gas on the hurricane. Well, you know, he's trying to keep the reserves going. They're pumping out the national reserves to keep the prices down. But at the same time, he is shutting down gas and oil drilling leases right now. So you know the price after the election is going to right now. He's holding it down so folks will vote for him. As soon as he gets back in office, woo, he fell for the idea because your gas prices went down a little bit. Oh yeah, he's doing a good job. I'm gonna vote for him. I don't know, guys, just saying, you better think about it. If that's the case, if that's the basis of your voting, basis of my voting is I vote for freedom. Anybody who wants to take my nugs away is not going to be in my favor. My nugs are my nug kibbles that I feed them with. And if you're new to my channel and don't know what I'm talking about, that's code language. Just turn the words around, turn the letters around. As the Arnold? All right, so all right, sweeps, you gone. So guys, you better prepare. You can never prepare, do it now. You can go to prepwithgreg.com and there's still a good deal there on long-term food storage. But if you can't afford that, just go buy an extra can of anything. If you can food, buy that. Buy a bag of beans, buy a bag of rice, dried beans, dry rice. You know, just get what you can. But right now, you better start getting ready. Buy gas, get prepped. Make sure all your tanks are full. fill up your gas cans. Price is going to go up, availability may go whoop. We've got a lot of challenges ahead of us, guys. A lot of challenges. This is not funny times. It's not time to kid. Our stock market is on the verge of crashing. China, I'm going to go into China later. I think China is on the verge of possibly hitting us in the next year or two. Seriously. I'm talking about the first strike against the United States. I'm going to go into my rationale for that. And the video, this has been in the back of my, actually, I went out to film the video talking about this a couple of days ago. I was walking around in the woods and I discovered my SD card was full. So I meant to actually bring this video to you already. So this is coming, guys. This is coming. Yeah, you need to look at those videos. No, that's something we need to talk about too. We are in some very perilous times. I'm saying this, most of you get it. A lot of people don't. And I don't get how they don't get this thing going on. Civil War, World War III, these are not trivial. I covered hurricane first because it's coming at us fast. But guys, we are in a world of hurt. PrepWithGreg.com. Check it out, guys. Check that out. And get ready. You know, it'd be a good time to buy seeds. Go to check my link on some of my other videos, not the live streams, but the ones I just post. You'll find, except a couple of the worm ones I just did recently. A couple of my videos, I only put links to greengregs.com for buying worms. So, oh yeah, if you buy worms, now it's a good time to get them because the weather's cooled down. It's not cold. It's not hot. It's a good time to start your own worm beds and worm colonies, whatever you want to call them. But before you order, make sure if you've moved that your shipping address, and you probably want to just do this, make sure your shipping address is your shipping address. A lot of people will change their mailing address with PayPal, but they forget to change their shipping address. I just had a guy do that who was in Orlando. He moved to Alabama, but he forgot. And when he placed his order, what I got was the Orlando address. So I shipped those worms Monday morning to Orlando. Man, they're heading toward Hurricane Ian. My worms and Hurricane Ian are going to collide because they're both supposed to be in Orlando around Wednesday, which is not good. So they should get down there and they should see us for the address and they should ship them back to Alabama. But that hurricane might mess them up. So by all means, double check that. Another thing, everybody needs to know, and I probably need to put this on my website. There's a note, but nobody reads the notes. But anyway, some people think, you know, if you got a store in Etsy or you got a store in Shopify, they got all kind of bells and features, those stores. They got a thing that when somebody puts an order out, they're going to send them an email. Oh, we got your order. Thank you. My website is GoDaddy, and I use WordPress. But I don't have those kind of bells and whistles. But when you order through PayPal, PayPal sends you an email and says you got it. Well, if you got it from PayPal, I got it too. So that PayPal notification is your notification of order received. That means your order was received. It's good. I get it. And I always go in and check PayPal directly every week. So I don't do PayPal and you have Cash App. You can send me a check or a money order. You can send a check or money. Unless they change something, it was that where anybody can go into PayPal and pay with any credit card, or you could even use a check through PayPal, but that's slower. If you're going to use a check or money order, I say mail it to me directly. And I do have other cash things, but they're also part of PayPal, like can't remember the name. I don't hardly use it. But now the WordPress site, the PayPal buttons are a little different, but check it out. You should be able to pay with any credit card on PayPal. You should not even have to have a PayPal account, and you should even be able to enter a check in the PayPal. Unless they've changed something, that was always the case before. So you don't have to have PayPal to order that way. But my address is in the website. You'll find my address there. All you got to do is send a check or money order to that address. But make sure if you fill out a check, put your name on it and sign it, because I can't cash it if you don't. I'd say put your name and address and all the good stuff on there. I'm just trying to tell you the things you need to know if you're ordering worms. So, so it'll go through. Also have a donate button on that site. So, all right, guys, that's some of the main things on that. You can reopen chat. Reopen chat. Somebody talking about here. True Leaf has a special on a bundle of seeds right now. I just bought them. Okay, cool. Well, guys, if you go through my links, you won't pay 1 cent more. You should still get all the same specials, and I get a tiny commission from True Leaf Market. So right now is a good time to order your seeds. Here's the thing, guys. I don't know if you're going to be able to order anything 3 months from now. If we get an MP attack on America by Russia, you ain't ordering, or China, you're not going to order anything. There will be no ordering system. There'll be no internet. There'll be no power. Get it while the getting's good. Get your seeds. Get whatever seeds you think you might need. Buy heirloom seeds. Open air pollinated seeds. That's usually goes by heirloom. That's the kind of seed that you're going to get the same plant back that you harvested the fruit from. What you've planted this year, you save the seeds, plant them, you get the same plant next year. But hybrid plants, you don't get the same thing. It just won't be the same. It's usually not as good. It did through if in spring with you. Okay. Guys, I challenge you all to send a video on microgreens to 4 friends from Gray. There you go. There you go. I've got videos on growing microgreens. I got videos on gardening. I got a few videos on aquaponics. I got lots of videos on worms. Those are the videos we need to share. And you really bring up a good topic there, Cowgirl. One of the things that's really, I hadn't posted a video until now for about 3 days. And I'll look at what's trending on my channel, what people are actually looking at right now. Out of the top, well, thank you, New Days. Out of the top 15 or so videos, 11 of them, I believe, were videos on worm farming. People are coming in my channel to look at worm farming videos. Now, typically when I post any worm farm video, it only gets about 600 views. It don't get to 1,000 or 2,000 views that other ones get. But over time, people go back and look at them. There's two kind of videos I post. There's a video that's timeless. That's just good how-to information. It's always going to be good how-to information. Videos like that are known on YouTube as evergreen videos. They're always good, evergreen. Videos like this, where I'm talking about current events, next week it ain't no good. If it's just Hurricane Ian, definitely it would be outdated in a couple of days. We're talking about Russia here, so that part of the topic might be good for a week or two or a month, maybe 2 months. Then after that, but most people watch a video like that within the first couple of days. After that, nobody looks at them. Current event videos don't get any looks. But this channel is full of current event videos. In fact, it's really hard on my channel to see the evergreen videos, the ones that's going to make a channel the money over time. Videos like this, my channel is cluttered with videos. I got well over 1,000 videos on my channel, and most of them are just what's happening right now. But most of them aren't worth 2 cents after right now. But you can't find the evergreen videos because I got so much of these other right now videos. So I'm thinking about going in and hiding all the right now videos that are over a few weeks old. I actually did this some months ago. I hit a bunch of videos some weeks ago. Well, about 3 or 4 months ago, because I started that process. I thought I got to keep this off my channel if nobody sees them. Well, I'm probably gonna make a serious attempt to make my evergreen videos more readily available. Now, I could, other than just hide them, so that's all I did. I just get them. I could create a membership program and make those available to members. We could go in and look at them. They're hurting my channel for people who can't see evergreen. I got to take them down. I might take some of it if it's timely and put it over on Gringos. Now, my nuclear survival videos, things like that, real prepping, the stuff that's always going to be good on that, I may leave them here, but nobody's looking at them anymore. I don't get that. Why is nobody? That's also, it should be evergreen, but nobody's looking at those. There are some prepping videos I put up that are evergreen, but nobody's looking at them. Now my garlic videos, my videos on gardening, especially the garlic, people look at the garlic videos, right? Because it's garlic season, time to plant garlic. People are looking at that right now. my videos on some of my micro videos are still getting a lot of views. So those are evergreen. So when I'm gonna go back and read y'all's messages. I don't know what y'all think about this, but I'm really thinking that if the video is not evergreen, if it's just time sensitive, that after a couple of weeks it should not be out here and just clogging my channel up. You can't find videos because there's just so much stuff like that. But I could make them available to people. We could set up a little, nominal fee membership thing, kind of like probably modeled after the one Diamonds guide, where it's not a big fee, but you could go in and see stuff, and you could go in and see all this other stuff. I took down a whole bunch of the one time, especially I think all the views I was doing going to the farmers market and the dog days. Problem is, here's the thing: when YouTube sees your channel, they think you're in some niche. So they take all your videos and they promote them over here, or they promote them over there. Well, if they're promoting garden videos to preppers, they don't want to see it. If they're promoting prepping videos to gardeners, they don't want to see that. And what I get right now, though, the last few days that my channel's been growing, because I hadn't posted a video. This video will cost me about 5 subscribers. It's probably the last few days' growth of people watching those worm videos that you mentioned. They don't want to see a prepping video. They don't want to see what's happening right now video. The preppers don't want to see a worm video. Every time I post almost any video, people unsubscribe. I would say 3/4 of my videos get people unsubscribing. And there's maybe a little less than a fourth that actually gets me subscribers. Some of them get me a lot of subscribers because it's just people really resonate with what I say on some things. But I lose people. Oh yeah, the Galactic Grass channel, I seldom lose maybe one subscriber on some videos, but it's growing twice as fast as this channel. And on a prescriber basis, like I said, I get 4 times the views, even though it's less views overall. But I used to get that on this channel. This channel is shadow banned, I think, to a large degree about the platform. But also the algorithms just don't know what to do with my videos. That's why I need all the help I can get from you guys with the algorithms. The algorithms on this channel just don't know who I am because I'm too broad. So I need to focus this channel. And that is why, guys, I did this. Share screen. Ding, ding. That's why I'm looking at setting this up, guys. I think this will be where I'm going to come in and talk to y'all and talk about what's going on in the world. Swivel head news. My objective is, and I might actually move some content from Green Regs over here, that all of my topics about what's going on in the world will be right here. That I will bring it all right here. I'll talk about this maybe some more tomorrow night. So you got some time to think about it and maybe ask me some questions. But I think all my videos, like what I'm talking to tonight, all of that's going to be right here. Any video where I'm talking about anything that might possibly touch on politics will be here. And this will give me less chance of having Green Greg's channel canceled, because Green Greg's channel is my worm channel. It's my gardening channel. It's aquaponics. It's microgreens. It's the funnel to sell stuff for my worm farm. And if that gets shut down, that's going to hurt, especially after I've invested 2 years, a lot of time and money trying to get my worm farm up to running again. I've got a lot of money tied up in this. I don't mean a little bit, a lot. And I really need to start earning something back. And if I got my channel shut down, then I've shot myself in the foot. So I don't need to be on Green Greg's talking about the stuff we're talking about now. I just need to stop that. That's a fact. I really need to stop it. I need to switch and do that over here on Swivelhead News. And that's what I'm planning to do. And I'm planning to I may take some of the content from Green Greg's and upload it here too. Swivelhead News, I intend this to be what's happening now. I don't mean it won't be some prepping topics on Green Greg's, and I may go live, but it's going to be a little different than what we do here. That's what I'm really thinking. So, and I've got product papas I may reactivate one day, and I've actually got some videos I hadn't uploaded there. I just haven't had time. But Galactic Greg's, I'm going to keep pushing that channel. So that's what I'm looking at doing, guys. I'm looking at dividing this. And it's just that I think the algorithms will go smoother. I got less chance that green Gregs will get canceled. So my worm farm videos will stay good. My evergreen videos can be focused on over there. And we can come over here for stuff like this. Now, I've got another channel that's not public that I might make public, or I might even open. I might do another channel just for walking around and going to flea markets and going. Some of you guys really love that. I get people telling me, "Oh, Greg, I wish you do flea market videos." Now I'm not doing. I got other reasons for not doing the farmers market video. One is Leanne felt like people don't want to come up and buy stuff when you're doing a video. That was discouraging people from buying from us. But also she's got some personal reasons. Somebody's kind of stalking her, and she don't want to be on video. So she got two reasons that she don't want me doing videos there. So I may not pick up videos where I'm selling that in the booth, but I could always. I don't go to flea markets often anymore. I'm pretty busy, but I might. Or just the videos like I was driving around the countryside, driving around and talking. Now, sometimes I can still do a video on this channel or on Swivelhead News, just driving around. But if it's just really enjoying the scenery, kind of a video, that should be on another channel. Because each channel should be a very specific. Let me stop this here. Every channel should be a very tight niche. And when it is, YouTube knows where to promote those videos. People that are into that niche. You got people in this niche and they're promoting these videos over to them, they don't go nowhere. So YouTube says, well, these videos aren't no good, and it doesn't promote them. So some of this is my fault, but I also believe I'm being shouted at because I look at some of these other channels that cover the same topics I do. And some of them are as broad as me. You look at Preparedness. He does gardening and he does what's going on with it. He gets a lot more views per subscriber than I do, like 12 times. There's a guy I like called MD Creekmore. I watch him. He's just a country boy from up in East Tennessee, but he's smart. He's a smart guy. He talks real country, but he's a smart guy. He does some research. He knows what he's talking about. But he gets, maybe 12 times. Oh, yeah. Rex always said, well, your problem is you don't have nice thumbnails. Well, this guy don't ever put thumbnails up hardly. All these guys don't do thumbnails hardly. And they crush it. They get tons more views per subscriber than I do. Now, Diamond gets about 3 times more views per subscriber. He's one of the lower end ones, but he's been canceled by YouTube. He's had his channel shut down. I've never been shut down. And he actually some nights gets mad at his audience and cusses them out. That's where he's from, guys. Diamond's been through a lot of stuff. I get him. I get him tired. I like Diamond. But you think they won't try to shut down prepping and gardening? Well, they might. There's a whole thing about controlling gardening, but what I'm trying to do, I may pull more of the prepping over in Swivelhead, but I definitely want to keep the politics out of green Gregs. I want to pull politics out and put it in Swivelhead. I don't really talk about that much politics. I barely touch on some channels that they tarp on it all the time. I barely go there. And for me, it's just more freedom oriented. I just don't want anything that's challenging freedoms. But then again, I also started Freedom Restoration Foundation, which makes me not just a talker, but an activist. And that's another reason that YouTube is probably stepping real hard on green Gregs. So they can step on Swivelhead News. And I think Swivelhead News will grow and be a strong channel. It may take a while. So I'm going to need your help to grow Swivelhead News. I'm going to need you all to jump on board, subscribe, and watch what I do there. And like I said, I may even start another channel. Curtis Stone is another great channel creator. Yeah, he is. He also started out gardening and became more what's going on in the world kind of guy. So he's at risk too. He had a huge channel. He had like over 400,000 subscribers. He still covers a lot of the gardening stuff, more so than I do, really. So I need to get back into that kind of stuff. Farmer John. Hey, how you doing, Farmer John? So Farmer John is a good guy. He's kind of the activist. You are the Farmer John that works with Diamond, right? He's a kind of the activist guy, I believe. Maybe I should interview you. How you doing, Farmer John? You the Farmer John I'm thinking about, the one that works with Diamond? My light of hope. Let's see. I like most of your videos where it's just you, not the live feeds. I usually don't have, I usually don't have time for them. Then they go on too long for me. Yeah, well, these tend to be long. See, this topic where I was talking about Russia, sometimes I like to do single topic videos where I just go on one topic and I just upload it. It makes it a faster video. It's focused so people know what they're getting. There's so much going on in the world now, it's hard to do. You take Canadian Prepper. He used to do a lot of single topic videos, but now he takes all the news and puts it in one video, but it's not live. He don't do live sessions, so it keeps it to about 30 minutes. Problem is when we come on here and we're covering all this and we're live, it's going to be an hour, maybe 2 hours. And here's another thing. If it's an hour, 2 hours, and y'all watching this and I'm getting no super chats, well, that means that's an hour or two of watching that don't earn AdSense. So I'm actually lose money going live. I ain't got a single super chat tonight. And that's one reason I've kind of, I've been really questioning where to continue with super chats. Now, I did a video a couple of days ago and got some good super chats. But, you know, when you don't get super chats, you know, it makes me really question the utility of the time I'm spending this video, because it's not just the time I spend on the video. I pull these articles together, I research them, I bring them up, I read stuff, and there's several more articles I don't even pull in here. I spend quite a bit of time every day just scanning through articles. Let's see if S. Woods, I saw another channel that says in his area they want him to register his garden. Yeah, well, they're trying to do this this whole food thing about garden restoration, and I wouldn't go for it, guys. I think I talked about that in here. I would not go for that because it's very socialistic thing, guys. I'm gonna do a video. There's something I want to talk about. It's probably gonna be a walk in the woods video. But I gotta get another SD card. I really think something's coming at us. I see a trend. I see how they're trying to drive us. But here's a big question, guys. How in the world? See, the agenda of the elite is by 2030 to have us at that point that they were talking about in their videos and their websites. They told us what they wanted. They told us what their goals, what their objectives were, and it was you will own nothing. You will have no privacy, and you'll be happy. This is supposed to be by 2030. So how in 8 years are they going to part everybody in the world with all their possessions? Oh, they said you would own nothing, not even your underwear. How in 8 years do they change the world we have today to a world where you own nothing? Have no privacy. Central bank digital currency is one thing to take away a lot of privacy. Guys, that is a huge paradigm shift. How in the world do you get from here to there? You got to break this world first. You got to totally demolish this world. A world war, yeah, that might factor in. It's going to take some big events, horrendous events, to take you from here to there. You going to give up everything you got? You going to give up your underwear? You're going to give up everything you got? I guarantee one thing. The elites are the one pushing for this. Are they going to give up all their blondes? They're the ones that own most everything. They're the rich ones. Nah. This is a new neo-high-tech feudalism. Joe, did you know, Green Raiders, I am living that right now. So I know how they can do it. Okay, Joe, that you know, tell us what you know. Since you are Joe that you know, tell us what you know. How do you see them doing it? I see them breaking the world to get there. Breaking everyone. Taking, you know, where you ain't got nothing. Farmer John retracted a message. Oh, Farmer John. Did I say too much? When you're 30, sounds like it's going to be an open air prison. Guys, just think about the changes that occurred in the last 2 or 3 years. Think about all the people who took one of these with stuff in here that changed their DNA. The vast majority of our population became GMO people overnight. If you'd asked me earlier, would you go get your genetics changed? They would tell you you were crazy. They would laugh. They get mad at you. They would laugh at you. They would say you were a tinfoil hat, but they did it. They did it. 2 years ago, they started doing it. They did it, and they were told they had to do it. They tried to make everybody do it. See how that happened? Think about it. Is that huge? Oh no, nothing happened. Nothing happened. Really, nothing happened. I mean, all these people had to wear face diapers. Think of all the businesses were shut down. Think about how, because so many people weren't working, the government started dropping helicopter money on people, paying them more than they were making per day job. And then ever since then, people don't want to go back to work. Now businesses can't hardly operate because can't find people. Is our economy being broken? Look at the economic slowdown we're in. Look at all these things that are coming at us. And who was it that predicted, some of the people that predicted the pandemic? Of course, Fauci. Well, he said it would happen. He knew within 4 years. He knew there was going to be a pandemic within a specific administration. How would you know that? How could you tighten it down to 4 years to say, well, we're going to have a pandemic during this 4 years? Who could do that? How could you do that? Who else is one of the people predicting this stuff? There's a certain individual that used a lot of photographs of him holding one of these, smiling. The World Economic Forum wallpaper behind him. None other than the guy I showed earlier, and they're talking about Civil War. Mr. Gates of Bill. Now he's declaratively said we're going to have a hung election and a civil war. We don't want a civil war. No, thank you, Mr. Gates, who's buying up all the farm money. He predicted this. He invested in these companies real heavily before it happened. He also invested heavily in fake meat. Fortunately, people aren't going for that. And now he's telling us we're going to have a civil war. How does he know that? See, guys, this is what I'm going to go into another topic. But I got a topic on this. I'm not going to say it. I've already walked on thin ice. Hang on to your nugs. You're right, Stan. Hang on to your nugs. Yeah, Billy, Relford, Wimley, your words speak truth. Yes, I'm trying to, guys. This is also they can get to what they want by 2030, guys. That's what it really boils down to. That's what it boils down to, guys. ESG, all these things. How do companies turn out to evaluate ESG scores more than their bottom line? Don't touch my nugs. I hear you, buddy. Deagle, oh yeah, Deagle's projected the world population to drop, yeah, but especially in America, 2025. That's just 3 years now. Not even 3 years anymore. This year's almost gone. That's 2 years and some change in months away. What do they know? How do they know it? Well, the way the world's going right now, just look what's in front of us. They're threatening us with civil war. We could get an EMP attack. Well, that would do our population now. What did Deagle say? Our population would drop down to about a third of what it is. Well, it would drop even more than that if you had an EMP attack. So, yeah, nuclear war, EMP attack, all these things can happen. And right now, it's kind of really hard, easy to see, especially when the Russians consider an EMP electronic warfare. And Lord knows with the Colonial Pipeline, people from Russia have already been involved in electronic warfare in the United States. Maybe we were involved with warfare that made things go boom on Nord Stream 1 and 2. Just saying, guys, something fishy. Is that going to be an act of war? Let me go back there in the chat and see if I'm missing anything. I really want to scan this chat for a second, guys. Because I talked a lot about channel direction, making changes. Let's see what you guys really thought about it. Oops, I'm knocking over. I want to see what you guys are on through before I get my coffee. Cover that. Let's see, guys. Go back through the chat right now. I'm gonna go back through. I'm not going to be able to read everything tonight. I usually try to read every comment in the chat room. No other YouTubers do that. It takes so long, but it also makes my videos long. But I'm going to scan this and just see what you guys were saying. 39 in the room. Preparedness.com. Oops. Really appreciate you there, Katie, for sharing all these links. Thank you so much. Had a great day foraging mushrooms. That's new days. Thank you, new days. We learned from history that we did not learn from history. 40 going west, that's really it. You know, they used to have all these exercises at NASA where you collect data and they call it lessons learned. And the problem is nobody ever learned anything from lessons learned. It's always referred to them as lessons to be lost, lessons to be forgotten. Old times, they're not forgotten. Look away. Let's see. Well, Mr. Greg, if we have to bug, we can survive and grow microgreens and mushrooms. Let's grow some plants to pick microgreen seeds. So, Greg, make a channel called Evergreen Greg. Well, we'll just make green Greg's evergreen. Keep it green. I like all your various kinds content. Well, thank you there, Steve Campy. Worms are very important. Yeah, you can't get fertilizer, you need worms. You can't go to the store anymore. Worms you need. Thank you there, Cowgirl. Ask me to support other channels. Please start to carry protection now, says Farmer John. Greg, thing is that this is the only place we have to connect with each other. Well, no, if I'll be carrying live sessions on I do some on, I'm doing live sessions on galactic rays right now, but Swivelhead News more so. I may even do a call-in format for Swivelhead News. Yeah, I'm not going to totally go away from the live content. I just may reshape how it's done. Now, Katie, Deagle took that off. You just put a Deagle link up. Have they re-put that on there? They took it off their website a few months ago. Have they reposted it? Vicky says, I know only 2 people who left without dying, Enoch and Elijah. Old Elijah's got a wooden head. Old Elijah doesn't know he's dead. You remember that song? Yeah, it was about a wooden Indian. You know, they used to have the cigar Indians at stores. They had a full scale wooden Indian to promote cigars. Somebody wrote a song called Old Elijah. I always like the sound. Elijah. Hey, Connie. Yo. So this woods be might be the most important thing you said tonight. Joe, you know, it's called a green loop hole or something. I know sounds crazy. You talking about how they're going to take everybody's property? Deagle repost. Oh, they reposted it. Oh, I wish there were a land of cotton, but old times there are now forgotten, gone away, blown away, no more here today. Dixieland. I'm gonna work on that. I'm gonna come up with new lyrics. Redo Dixie. Redo the Dixie song. I'm still at, I'm on a work in progress, guys. Rewrite Dixie. It's going to talk about how we used to have family values and families used to do things together, and neighbors used to do things together. Don't say it no more. Okay. Oh, countries. I hate the countries. Okay. List of 2019 countries. Okay. Let's see if we have the 2025. I'm looking at this on my laptop here. Yeah, they took this down for a long time. Where's the projection? Where do we go to find the 2025? What's the countries? Click on the icons and sort the list. That's my country. Time, future. Values here. Wow, powerful list. The data from 2019. That's just 3 years old. Still in ports. Countries, equipment, group. Back there. Oh, where's the 2025 forecast today? Now they took this whole list off. The list is here, but I don't see the 2025 projections. How do you find that, Katie? I don't know how to find the projection we used to put on there. That's it. Let me go back to chat room. Yeah, we're about done for the night, guys. Diamond had a link to Rumble that shows the aftermath of the experiment. Totally different channel characteristics. Well, what was the experiment you ran, Arnold? Oh, of course, you maniacs, you blew it all up. Yeah, from the Planet of the Apes. That's what Carlton Heston said, and he thinks he's on another planet far, far away until he's riding along the beach and he rides into the Statue of Liberty. And he realizes it's on Earth. Yeah, that would be a rather shocking revelation. I can sometimes text right. It does. Oh, Judge, you had a rough time. Sounds like. Sorry to hear that. A lot of hope. All right, good night, my lot of hope. Jeffrey Tisdale. That was an act of war, I believe. Guys, we may be into it with Russia. We may be into it. We're heading that way. Tonio says, I enjoy Greg and enjoy all of his content. I personally watched DART on Galactic Greg's and not the NASA channel. Well, thank you. Appreciate that. You got the NASA feed just came through me, but you got my commentary in addition. I appreciate that. It helps, guys. It really helps. People who got that I know have lost their heart and feelings. Oh, Granny, that's scary. I am so true blood. Timber 23. Dang, Greg, I just woke up and you're on. Oops, skipped over. What happened? Hey, cowgirl, thank you. We got a super chat. Appreciate that. It's in there. Just didn't see it. Thank you, cowgirl. Yes, each country. 4-0. Never. Oh, yeah. You never get. got a kiss. That's right. I believe the time of the end is not the end, just a new beginning. Yeah, that's what we need, the new beginning. Thanks for listening. Take care. And thank you for yours. All right, Joe. Joe that you know. Yabba dabba jabba, says Ernie. Yeah, yabba dabba jabba. My son was named Elijah. There you go. Eli's coming. Yeah, sometimes God is good. Your videos are great, Greg. I share. Well, thank you, Joe. You know. All right, just so we can kind of see who all's still in the channel. I like to pull a operation. I like to pull something that before we leave that Prepper Nurse One does. What? I like Prepper Nurse One. He's a good guy. He's a good-hearted guy. Good-natured. Everybody tell me where you're from. Everybody just put in the chat where you're from. City, state, province, country, whatever you want to put. Just, yeah. Arnold started it. Western Alberta, Canada. So you started it. Yeah, bro, I'm not from here. Everybody just posting where you're from. That gives, we got 109 people watching, 129 people. So to give me an idea who all's still in here, plus where you're from. Many people hung on this late. So you guys, I got a quiz here for you, so I know who's still with us. Denver, I know where you're at, Connie. Been there. Dr. G man's West Kentucky. Denver, says Scott Ziegler. Tanya, Northwest Arkansas. Bluefin, New Zealand. Whoa, we got New Zealand in the house. We got more than one New Zealander in the house. Well, another New Zealander, who I think is native earlier. Oregon, okay. Northern Maine, 2 miles from New Brunswick, Canada. That's cold up there. Kingsman, Arizona, Tennessee, says Donald Franks. Scott, Washington Park, okay. Portland, Oregon. What's it like in Portland, Rochelle? Central Kentucky, Charles Stansbury. Carol is Kingsbury, Texas. Yeah, Jesse, I know you're in Northeast Arizona. Good to see you still here. We got 120 in the room. I imagine there's more of you, but you ain't chiming. All right, come on, folks. Speak up. Tell us who you are and where you're from. Just where you're from. Wheat Ridge. Well, bless your heart, Vicky. Everybody needs to pray for Vicky. It's late. It's already 1:38, almost 2 o'clock in the morning. I got to get set. We're going to probably do our normal prayer session tomorrow night. And we'll pick back up on this kind of where to go with the channel topic. I didn't get a lot of people talking about it. Space Coast, Florida. That's nice, Wolfgang 5454. I used to love to go down there to, I'd stay in Cocoa Beach, go to Titusville, Dixie Crossroads, places like that. All right, so Space Coast, Florida. Well, hopefully you can see us launch this space launch rocket, the Space Launch System, Artemis 1. Galactic Greg, this is awesome. Please subscribe. Thank you there, Cowgirl. If you have some lurkers, there are those who, oh yeah, there always are. Trying to get them to say hi. Well, some of them are saying hi, Pueblo. We get some people chiming in now who don't normally chime in. Merritt Island. Okay, Wolfgang. Merritt Island. Yeah, it's kind of a nature preserve on there at Merritt Island. So you're down there right close to the launch complex. Pueblo. All right, folks. We're about to call it a night here. There's Pueblo, Colorado. Is that the one you're talking about? Pueblo, Colorado. I drove through there. It's a fun time. On my way to the mountains. Yep, Colorado. Thank you for subscribing to Galactic Gregs. I appreciate that, Rochelle. Now, Rochelle's in Portland. Greg is one of my best friends for years, a wonderful mentor. All right, well, thank you, Cowgirl. I'm hoping to start up my operation in Arizona, but I got to get this operation running right first. I got to focus and get this right and then go out there. I really want to put it in the well. It's like I'm using all my money up here and trying to pay off some credit cards. So I'm going to have to make some money to put that well in. It's going to cost me about 30 grand to put a well in Arizona. Cocoa Beach, my favorite winter haven. La Quinta Hotel. I know where that La Quinta's at. Never stayed in La Quinta, but I've been there. I know where La Quinta's at there, unless they moved it. My niece is a rocket science engineer for Sierra Space in Colorado. All right, that's very good, Rochelle. Well, Sierra Space has a vehicle called a Dream Chaser. Now, I don't know what their engine is in it now. I think they changed it. At one time, the guy who started the Dream Chaser program was Benson. What was Benson's name? Full name? Tim knows him. Tim's still in the house. Benson, let's call him Boulevard Benson. Jim Benson. He started the Dream Chaser program, and originally he meant to have a hybrid rocket in it. I actually competed against him for the right to fire rockets for Virgin Galactic, not Virgin Galactic, for Scale Composites, Spaceship One. But Bart Rutan made me an offer for that contract, but I didn't like his terms. The engine that they used was descendant of this engine right here. Tim Pickens had his hands all over this engine. Hands, mine. And right now I got our old rocket motor test stand on the back of my truck, Betsy Blue. Greg, Cuba Electric Grid was totally down due to the hurricane. So it hit the western side, but took out the whole grid. Well, that don't surprise me. How many eggs, Greg? I don't have any chickens. Yeah, he does that every time. I don't be a total copycat now. But, we might come up with something like that. Something along those lines. It's, I don't have any chickens right now, so I have any eggs. I like prepping nursing. Dr. G, man. Vicky, just follow doctor's advice. Granny, there you go. Oh, they put you on the ventilator, Granny? Green eggs and ham. There you go. Green Gregs and ham. I put that in the title of some of my videos, Green Gregs and ham, just for fun. Not my mother. The original Apollo astronaut stayed at the La Quinta Hotel. There's a big display of all. There you go. Well, there's a bar. It used to be a bar down in Houston. They all used to like to go to. They tore a place down. What was the name of that bar? I've been there a couple of times. Actually, still on the table and sung Dixie like a Scotsman in that bar where the astronauts always frequented. It was a bet. So, yeah, I'm a Southerner, guys. Citizen Z, what's up, folks? We're calling it a night, Citizen Z. We've been on here for 2 hours now, so we're calling it a night. We talked about a lot of stuff here, so go back and watch the video from the beginning if you can. We covered a lot of ground. We talked about Hurricane Ian, although I accidentally called it Ivan because we got hit by one called Ivan here. There's only a 1-letter difference between the two. And we talked about World War III, nuclear war. We've talked about quite a number of topics here tonight. Quite a number. All right, everyone. I think it's time to go. I really do. So put this up because I got me in the video over here. I can't do it on this computer. Because my last round, my heart was so stressed that Vicky. Vicky's having a tough time, guys. Say a prayer for Vicky tonight, Granny Lana, and her granddaughter Kaylee. Go to bed. Pray for the people of Cuba. It might be a communist country, but there's still people there just like anywhere else. Pray for the people in Europe. Pray for the people in Florida that are about to get hit by this hurricane. Pray for the people in Ukraine and the people in Russia. I mean, the citizens of these countries don't want to be thrown into what they're throwing us into. This was Cowgirl. Greg doesn't get eggs until Easter. Easter keister. All right. Autodidactic with Bernard Koken from Leak Project. Don't know him. Text me a link to that. You got my phone number. Yep, Stan, good night. All righty, guys. Thank you, Cowgirl, for the super chat. Did I miss any super chats, folks? That's all I saw. Thank you for the super chat. Mods, I know you've been busy. Thank you for all you've done, mods. Thank you for everyone watching. Thank you for everyone giving me a thumbs up. I really appreciate everybody for coming in here tonight and watching. Share my videos, guys. You know, we are being stomped on heavy by the platform, so help me out, guys. Share my videos as much as you can. Like Cowgirl said, take some of my videos on some of my topics, like the gardening, the microgreens, the worm farming, and send them around. Email them. Pray for all those poor Russian citizens who have been drafted in the army. Yeah, they don't want to go. I mean, what the world needs now is love. You got that right. Got that right. You know, it just kind of brings me back to how I like to end my videos. It's good people in every part of the world. It's people who keep the shirt off the back in every country, hamlet, town, city, of every race, color, and creed. Human beings. So, you know, we got to be careful how we think of and judge other people. It's not our place. That's to the Lord. Judge not that ye not be judged. But at the same time, of course, you got to defend yourself. We need to try to develop more understanding. All this hatred is going to get us in a bigger war. We're fighting. It's not needed. Social media has done a lot of it. Social media has, you know, it gives people what they deem you to be, and they drive you to a worldview. They make your worldview more distinct on this side or the other. So they played a big role in this, and yet then they pick favorites out of that. They set it up, then they pick favorites. So, you know, what a sham the social media is pulling on us, right? But that's all part of the plan. They want that. To them, a civil war would be a great thing. To them, World War III would probably be a great thing. Why? So they got to break this country to get us to give up everything we got. They have to break the country. They got to make things so horrible. What did Pike write about in his letter to Gillespie? You know what I'm talking about? A letter written back in 1870. Help me out, guys. So the letter about 3 world wars predicted supposedly back in the 1800s by General Pike. Now, supposedly this letter was in a museum in England, but nobody can find it now because it was written about by a Catholic bishop, I believe, from Argentina. He wrote a book about it. And then the letter supposedly just mysteriously disappeared, and they claimed it never was there. He wrote this, it was after World War I he wrote this, I think. It was in the 1920s. Bishop Allenby, I believe. They're predicting 2 world wars. The Second World War came to pass just like he said it. And the world is shaping up like he talked about the Third World War very much. Now, is all this just coincidence? Or is it all planned? You tell me. I'm not saying anything. That's how these platforms are. Broken Fish shared you with me, but see you on Leak Project before that. All right, cool. All right, Rochelle, so you're big in the Leak Project. Awesome, cool. All right, guys. Thank everybody for being here. I got to go. It's late. I got to get up earlier in the morning. I got to go into work at NASA. I got a few things to do. Anyway, guys. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. Good night. Oh, yeah. I didn't finish that. I got lost on my tangent. There's one final thing I tell you. As light dispels dark, love dispels hate. Go out and shine your love light into the world. That's how we make this world better. If everybody did that, everybody, if half the world did that, if we could get a tenth of the world to do that, why not a war? Wars are wasteful. Wars are destructive. Wars to shatter people, lives. No matter who that person is, there's somebody's daddy, brother, son, sister, daughter. See what I'm saying? You rip families apart. You destroy and shatter life. You rip people's hearts out. Take their loved ones. And it's not just always the troops in the field. I mean, war today attacks cities, civilians, wedding parties. War is nasty. It's unholy. It's demonic. You got to defend yourself. You can't be run over. Guys, that's my love. That's the answer. Of course, I'm going to keep my nugs. But, guys, go out and shine your love light in the world. I'm going to say thank you for watching. And get out, everyone. Greg out.